Hi, and welcome to another Photography News. This is where we explore all the top stories that's happened in the photography world in the past week. Let's get started with Nikon. It seems that the Nikon D750 shutter issues are still plaguing the company a full 2 years after it initially issued a recall on some serial numbers between October 2014 and June 2015. Yesterday, Nikon issued another recall to include more cameras, specifically models produced between July 2014 and September 2014, and also from July 2015 through September 2016. That's a whole year, and that's basically every camera that they probably made, every D750 they made between, 15-month time span? The issue first cropped up on the Nikon advisory page in July of 2015. At the time, Nikon claimed the issue, which could result in the shutter shading a part of your picture, was limited in units made between October and November of 2014. Then in February of 2016, Nikon expanded the recall to include units made between December 2014 to June 2015. Yesterday's update makes the third recall of the D750 and expands the recall to include units manufactured between July of 2014 and September of 2014. Also, units made between July of 2015 and September of 2016. If you're keeping score, that means that the affected units were being manufactured from July of 2014 all the way through to September of last year. Basically a 2-year run of D750s. Now, to be honest, this isn't the first time that Nikon has released a recall for shutters. Not specifically the D750, but other cameras as well. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but there was a recall for oil on the sensors. I think it was the D7200. Let's hope that Nikon sorts things out. Staying with Nikon, Nikon has pushed out several updates, increasing the D5 firmware for version 1.1 to 1.2. Its D500 firmware from version 1.0 to 1.12, and its Coolpix B700 firmware from version 1.2 to 1.3. In addition to updating the camera's firmware, the company has also updated its View NX1 software from version 1.2.7 to 1.2.8, and its Camera Control Pro 2 software from version 2.25 to version 2.25.1. All of the updates are fairly minor, with the exception of the D5 firmware update, which not only brings some bug fixes but also includes a handful of new features as well. The D5 firmware update adds 2 new AF area modes, Group AF HL and Group AF VL, horizontal roll and vertical roll. The user selects a horizontal roll HL or a column VL of focus points. When AFC is selected for focus mode, the camera will give priority to the point in the selected row or column containing the object closest to the camera. They've updated the photo info display to show the colour temperature of photographs taken with auto selected for a white balance. They've added EXIF tag listing the difference between the local time zone and UTC as part of the EXIF 2.31 specification. They added support for features of AFP lenses. If the standby timer expires after the camera has focused, the focus position will not change when the timer is reactivated. In manual focus mode, the focus indicator in the viewfinder or in live view, the focus point selected in the monitor, will flash to show that infinity or the minimum focus distance has been reached by rotating the focus ring. They've also changed the checks performed when Clean Image Sensor and Clean Now is selected in the setup menu. Yesterday, Canon officially opened the doors on its latest and greatest professional technology and support center, a state-of-the-art facility in Burbank, California. Canon is calling this facility its most advanced cinema industry resource to date. Evolving from what began as Canon's original Hollywood facility, the new state-of-the-art Canon Burbank facility provides these customers with enhanced technical environments and accessible service and support. Canon Burbank is poised to support Canon's clients' productivity through the dynamic mix of product evaluation and testing, product and workflow training, industry events, and expedited repairs. The centre is built mainly to support Canon's EOS community, speeding up service and support times for studio customers in LA, but stills photographers in the area will be able to take advantage of it just like any other CPS centre. Just don't expect the workshops, demos and software trainings offered there to be focused on still imaging. It's basically a centre for Hollywood. Curved image sensors are an area of intense research and interest, and now the field of astronomy is jumping into the mix, developing curved sensors for use in telescopes. The latest prototype comes from CEA-Leti, a French-based research institute for electronics that has managed to create a fully functional 20 megapixel full-frame curved image sensor prototype. The optical benefits of a curved sensor are fairly straightforward, primarily more direct illumination of pixels at the edge of the sensor and lighter lenses because there is no longer a need to correct for a curved projection onto a flat sensor. And while Microsoft and Sony are both working on mass market applications for this tech, these benefits are of serious interest to astronomical observatories. Further competition in this market, even from niche markets like this, can only be a good thing. Curved sensors might very well be the next major breakthrough in the world of photography. Back to Nikon. After introducing an AFP 70-300 telezoom for its crop sensor DSLRs, Nikon has added a full-frame version to the mix, the AFP Nikkor 70-300 f4.5 to f5.6 ED-VR is the first FX Nikon lens to offer pulse step motor, with quieter autofocus ideal for video shooters. It claims 4.5 stops of stabilization, which is 2 stops better than the 2.5 stops on Nikon's website for the current 70-300 f4.5 to 5.6. This updated version also provides a shorter minimum focus distance of 1.2 meters, around 4 feet. Dust and drip resistance, and a 9-blade aperture with an AD element to reduce chromatic aberration. It also has an electronic aperture control for smooth exposure transitions while shooting video and video bursts. The AFP 70-300 will sell for $700 and should be available later this year. McFun, a California-based developer known for delivering award-winning products for the Apple Mac, has launched a free public beta of its award-winning photo editor Luminar for Windows. Luminar is a powerful photo editor designed to tackle anyone's photography needs, from correcting challenging image problems to artful stylizing. Users can choose between levels of image processing complexity based on their experience and adaptive workspace controls to fit their skill level, moving up to more advanced modes as they learn. Luminar works in a non-destructive fashion and aims to take work from photo editing workflows for photographers worldwide. In April, only 5 months after its launch, Luminar for the Apple Mac won the prestigious TIPA Award, TIPA Award for Best Imaging Software of 2017. This all-in-one photo editor is a cutting-edge solution for creating fascinating images without the extra hassle. You can go to McFun's website to download a copy of the beta and test it out for yourselves. And finally, into the rumour mill. Canon Rumours has been told that Canon plans to announce the successor of the EOS 7D Mark II sometime in the first half of 2018. The CP Plus trade show in February is a logical possibility, although not guaranteed, as the EOS 90D is supposed to be coming for that show. The EOS 7D Mark II was announced ahead of Photokina in 2014, which is where we are expecting a follow-up to be announced in 2018. Whilst there are no specifications, Canon Rumours are told that the EOS 7D Mark III will come with a few more video bells and whistles like 4K recording, which at the time of writing this would be the first APS-C Canon camera to have this feature. APS-C is the crop sensor, so it's basically the same sensor size as the EOS 70D, the EOS 80D and the upcoming EOS 90D. However, Canon Rumour says that his gut says Canon Rumour says that we'll see an EOS 90D announced before the EOS 7D Mark III. So the first half of 2018 could actually mean late Q2. An EOS 7D Mark III is something that I personally would be very interested in. I was interested in the 7D Mark II as a crop sensor version of my 1DX Mark II. However, the sensor has jumped significantly since the 7D Mark II, and I was waiting on basically a 7D Mark III with the new Canon sensors, which offer much more dynamic range. But it's a very early rumour, and we'll just have to wait and see. Take it with a pinch of salt.